this is step 2 in the series about setting up a drum machine to use in Logic. So we've got the connections made on the drum machine, and we've got the drum machine set up properly to communicate over MIDI. So now we're going to go to Audio MIDI Setup on your Mac, and yours is probably, when you open Audio MIDI Setup, it's probably going to default to just the audio devices. We don't really need to see the audio devices. We need to see the MIDI Studio. So it's going to default to just show the audio devices. You're going to hit Window, and you're going to hit Show MIDI Studio. Okay. Now this is mine already set up. Okay. You're not going to see your drum machine here. Well, actually, yes, you will. You'll see the drum machine here if you have it connected by a USB cable. It'll populate automatically. If you don't have it connected by a USB cable, if it's connected by 8-pin DIN or 5-pin DIN MIDI cables to your interface, like my Korg is, it's not going to show up, and you have to add it manually. So let's pretend like it's not here. Let's pretend like I have to add it manually. What we're going to do is we're going to hit this plus sign here. It's going to add a new external device. You're going to double click on that. And again, you only have to do this if your device is not connected by USB. If it's connected by 5-pin DIN MIDI cables, you have to do this. Okay? You're going to name your device drum machine or whatever. You can type in the manufacturer and the model if you want. You're going to open the icon browser if you want to. Now, I've got a bunch of my own custom instrument icons in here. You can, pick something. But most of these are my own custom icons, right? Okay. If it allows you multiple channels, and it will, because anything that's connected by 5-pin DIN MIDI cables will allow you to select multiple channels to transmit and receive over. What I'm going to do is disable the ones I don't want. So I only want channel 10, okay? So disable the ones you don't want. By default, it's going to allow all of them. If it's in white, it means that they're all enabled. It's kind of confusing, but that's how it works. So anyway, you're going to, my mouse is not working. You're going to set it to, you're going to disable all the channels except channel 10. That's my mouse. Like that, okay? And since drum machines act as sequencers, you do want it to transmit and receive the beat clock. So you're going to click on that. I don't really have much use for MIDI timecode, so I don't enable that. If you do, you can enable that. Or if your device can transmit and receive the time code, you do that. But I don't believe the DR880 can do that. But I do want it to transmit and receive the MIDI beat clock. Okay, so you click on Apply. And now it's set up, but you got one more step. Again, Remember, we're talking about a machine that does not have a USB cable. It's connected by 5-pin DIN MIDI cables. You have to draw a virtual, well, you don't have to do this, but it makes it a lot easier later on in Logic. If you just draw a virtual cable, that's what these arrows are. This is your MIDI in. And your MIDI out. Now, let's try this. There we go. So we're drawing a virtual cable. What we're doing is we're telling your Mac that it's not that this device is connected by 5-pin DIN MIDI cables. So, and draw the other one for the MIDI out. Okay. So now it's telling my Mac that there's a device connected to the interface. All right, so that's all you need to do. If your device does not use USB, right? I'm going to delete that because I don't need it. And hook my Korg up like it was before. And again, my Korg is almost 30 years old and it does not have USB at all. So it only uses 5-pin DIN MIDI cables. You have to tell Logic, you have to tell your Mac, and therefore Logic, that it's connected to the interface with 5-pin DIN MIDI cables. Just makes it makes life a lot easier. All right, I'm going to delete that because I don't need it. Since my DR880 has a USB cable and is connected by USB, it's going to show up here automatically and you don't have to do anything with it. You can open it up. And again, since it's already connected by USB and the device is already set to transmit and receive only over channel 10, this is what it's going to look like. Your icon browser, your icon's going to be a little different. This is a custom icon that I have. Okay, it's only going to show one port for MIDI in, MIDI out because it's using USB. And that's it. So all we do is click on apply. You don't even have to make any changes. So let's go back there again. So anyway, again, if it's connected by USB, it's going to show up here automatically and you shouldn't really have to do anything. If it's not connected by USB, you should add it in manually using the technique that I just showed you. All right. Next video is going to cover how we, once we go into Logic, what we do with it. Okay? See you down the road.